everyone. It's Melissa from Gilda's Club, Grand Rapids. I hope you're doing well today. So glad we can get together in this virtual clubhouse. And as usual, like talk about the weather, and it's incredible out there. I am a summer person. It is perfect weather for me. I do miss a little bit of that spring, but I'm grateful that it's warm and we're not wearing heavy coats or all of that. So I hope that finds you happy to have summer also, and finding some time to get out in the sunshine a little bit. If you're new to Gilda's Club or to a cancer or grief journey, we want you to know that we're a free cancer and grief support community right here in the Grand Rapids area. If you're interested in getting connected with our community, give us a call, 453-8300, or look on our website, gildasclubgr.org. We'd love to talk with you and help you get connected with our community. If you are used to watching this, or maybe you're new watching our Facebook Live and you enjoy what's happening, give us a thumbs up. We'd love to see that, or make a comment. Let us know you're here. If you have a question for the topic or our guest today, and you'd like to know something, just put that right in the comments and we'll try to feed that to her or me and we can talk about that. If you happen to do the craft, we would love to see those crafts. You can take a picture of it and post it here, or send it to us in an email, but we'd love to see your response to that. And it's being recorded, and so it'll be on our archive, and if you want to watch it again, you can do that. If you want to share it with someone, you can do that. We love to share the wealth here at Gilda's Club. So other than that, I think we're ready to go. Today we have a special guest, someone that you guys have probably not met. And so I'm so excited to have a new staff person here, Megan. And Megan, say your last name for me. Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, shoot. We are having some audio issues. That's okay. Sometimes that happens. I hope that you all can hear. She's going to reconnect with her audio. All right. I cannot hear you. Not yet. Okay, maybe what you can do, Megan, is just sign off and then sign back on. Okay? And usually it'll retrip, and that's okay. You can go ahead and do that now, and I'll talk about our topic. So Megan is going to join us. She's new on staff here, and if you hang out a little longer, right after our activity and book reading today, we will have a little get to know the staff segment, or meet the staff segment. So today we're going to talk about languishing. That's a crazy word. And I literally just heard this word not too long ago. Maybe about 6 months ago, I heard the word languishing, and I was thinking, what is that? What does that mean? And a lot of people are using the word languishing in connection with COVID. And so we have been together through something really difficult, and we're not all the way through it. COVID is still here with us. We're still hearing about cases. We're still managing our health and how we enter the world, how we manage our relationships, and with this germ, with other people. And but it's not as intense as it was before. And so we're in this area, or this time in our lives now, where it's again still a little bit unknown, but there's a little bit more freedom, and there's a little bit probably more anxiety. So this word languishing comes up, where it's the feeling of having been through something, but maybe not necessarily processing all of our emotions yet. And you might feel weak, or the definition of languishing is to become weak or feeble, to lose strength. Sometimes crops languish from lack of rain. So maybe some of us have been, keeping ourselves safe and separate from other people and have lost touch with people or don't really know how to re-enter into society the way that we want to, or there's just feelings or unprocessed, events, emotions, thoughts that have happened over the past 2 years. And so it just feels kind of heavy. And maybe we don't have as much fortitude or energy as we did before. Megan, are you back with us?
Yeah, and I think you might be able to hear me now. Sorry about that, everybody. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yay!
Yeah. I'm Megan Luzak. Thank you for having me, everybody, today. I'm excited to be here and talking about languishing, and I just want to pick up with our conversation if you want to just keep going with that.
Yeah. So great to have you with us, Megan. We're also very glad to have you on staff. It's been great to have you here with us. And so, yeah, I was just saying that languishing is just that feeling of, I love that crops languish from lack of rain. And so when over COVID, maybe we've had a lack of conversation, a lack of connection, a lack of feeling really, strong or confident about going out into the public or doing things the way that we used to do things. And there might be this grief also about now we have more freedom in how we do things, yet we have to do them differently. We're looking at the world differently. We know different things. And so that feeling of languishing might be kind of heavy. And did you want to add to that, Megan? Any thoughts?
You could see my head nodding. I can understand where that's coming in and how that's played a role, even just personally and within what I see through our members and people talking about COVID on a daily basis. So I totally agree. I know that that's existing for a lot of people.
Yeah. And sometimes it can feel really odd. The sun is shining, it's warm outside, there's hope in the air of spring and green and that kind of thing, but it still feels a little bit heavy and still feels a little bit like I'm dealing with something. And that would be that languishing piece. And sometimes when people are languishing, as with everything else, they have different responses to that. Some people get really, really busy and stay really, really busy. And some people have maybe shorter time from stimulation to frustration or anger, or there's all kinds of different ways that we might deal with them. Those skills that we have, those character assets that we have might look like maladaptive behavior or something that isn't working for us. And so that's why we have this awesome book to read that we just found out. I just want to do a shout outs to the Book and Mortar bookstore. Jen, who owns it, is always great at finding great books for us. So that's where we picked this one up. And it's called It's Okay, Slow Lizard, which I also love the name. And it is by Yeorim, Yoon. So please forgive me. I asked for grace about saying these names. I don't speak. I'm just not sure I'm pronouncing them correctly. And Jian Kim. And so, Megan, you ready to read? Yeah, and then we'll have a little conversation afterwards. Okay, enjoy the book, everyone.
Okay, like Melissa said, it's the slow lizard. In the forest where the sunlight falls gently through the leaves, live, busy little bird, mighty elephant, speedy rabbit, funny monkey, and me, slow lizard. Just like my name, I live a slow, slow life. And because I live a slow life, I see many things, I hear many things, and I have lots of time to help my friends. Today, I need to finish everything for tomorrow and for the next day, But when will I have time to do everything for the day after that? When little bird who does everything early is anxious. Hey, little bird, want to have some flower tea with me? As we sip our flower tea, little bird's stress slowly starts to melt away. When mighty elephant gets frustrated and angry, why does it keep breaking? Hey, elephant, want to look at the sky through the hole in this leaf? I can tie your shoes for you. As we look through the hole in the leaf at the clouds drifting by, elephant's anger slowly starts to melt away. When the speedy rabbit rushes ahead and, oops, loses the race by mistake. I sit quietly next to Rabbit. With a friend nearby, Rabbit slowly feels better. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay not to win. When Funny Monkey giggles and plays pranks on us. Hey, Monkey, want to read this book together? It's really good. Let's read this one too. As we read together, Monkey's mischievous mood slowly starts to melt away. Do you think my friends are glad that I'm around? I'm glad I have my friends too. Going to rain tonight with thunder and lightning. Let's pick apples now. Little bird is always prepared. The apples are heavy, aren't they? I can give you a ride home. Elephant is so generous. The sun is about to set. Follow me. I know a shortcut. We'll get home faster. Rabbit is really clever. Are you afraid of the dark? I can make you laugh. Thank goodness for that funny monkey. Here we are, safe and sound. Raindrops start falling slowly among the leaves. Even if it's stormy for a while, it's okay. The rain will always stop and the sky will always clear up. Hey friends, want to come over and eat apples? Take your umbrella and take your time. The end.
That was great. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you. I don't always read children's books. I don't have children yet, so it's always fun when I get to read those nice little children's books.
Yeah. And those pictures are so beautiful, aren't they? Yeah,
Mhm.
I love them. You read beautifully. So what did you think? What resonated with you in that book?
I might just be the rabbit that's always in a hurry. So this slow little lizard was a good reminder to slow down and smell the roses and have the tea and look at the clouds. So I tend to be a fast-paced person and always want to be busy, and that can be a good reminder, that little book, to just slow down and focus on your strengths and the things you do offer, and it's a nice little reminder.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I did love that too. It was a good reminder to me too that taking a pause is a really good thing. And that's one way to really help ourselves, especially if we're languishing, is taking a pause and just taking a look around and seeing what's around, or looking. I love how he paused even in the moment they were all swinging in the tree. And he said, do you think my friends are glad I'm here? And answered his own question of, yeah, and I'm glad I have them too. And so there's this reciprocal relationship or thought or self-talk too. And just so noticing those things also can help us when we're feeling like nobody cares or there's nothing to do or I don't have enough time. If we just slow down, it can really help. Yeah. I really love too is that some of the things that Slow Lizard picked out at the beginning of the book that were sort of not really helping each of the animals, each of the characters at first. Like, what was the one you picked out?
The rabbit being in a race or in a hurry or.
Yeah. And why is that not helpful sometimes, do you think, Megan?
Well, when you're going at such a fast pace, you can sometimes miss those little details or not pick up on as much or take the time for yourself, like, doing self-care, those kinds of things that we like to, have people do and are helpful in our lives. So rushing through things isn't always the best quality in the bunny, but then they come back around and then say that think they have a different quality that is also a good quality.
Yeah. So sometimes it keeps us from really dealing with maybe how we're feeling inside, is that we just sort of push and push and push and push and push. And I know that for me, that has always been a coping mechanism, is being, busy. But I hear people say to me, "Oh, you're so busy." I think, oh, there it is again, is that it can be helpful, but then at times then I crash and then it's not very helpful, or I miss details like you're talking about and I don't do, or my body might get sick, or you just miss that self-care piece. Yeah. So it's important. And then, yeah.
So he pointed out that the rabbit was very clever. So that was what he came back around to say, the lizard.
Yeah. And then how did that cleverness help his friends?
I think it was getting back to where they were going, getting them in the right direction.
Yeah. So then that weakness of being so busy and knowing so much really helped out in the end when it was in balance, right? When he was using it as a skill, a coping skill in the moment where it was necessary. Yeah.
Yeah. We talk a lot about balance. We want to make sure those things are balanced when we're fast paced and, trying to get everything we can possibly done. Balancing out our time and our skills is important.
Yeah.
Good reminder.
Yep. And sometimes we even have to take a pause on our to-do list, right? Because then you can, feel like I checked it off, and you're able to take a moment too. Absolutely. Yeah. So one of those ways to add in a craft, and you may have a craft that maybe will work really well. You could share that with us with this particular topic of languishing, is to think about, what are my strengths? What are my character assets? What are my coping skills that I use that I'm really good at? And that keeping in balance, that I need to really look at keeping in balance. And so this is just a way to do that. And so some of the supplies to have is a paper plate. It's just a basic paper plate, because you're just going to probably recycle it or something. Some different size circles. So I have a cup here. I'm going to use the rim of this cup. I have, it's actually a funnel, and this is a little smaller than the cup. And then I have this cute little solo cup. These are adorable. Anyway, and so you can use anything. You can use the top from a water bottle. You could use the top from a marker, whatever. But so you should also have some markers, some paint. I happen to have some acrylic paint. Our wonderful volunteer, Suzanne, put it in a little squeeze bottle for us. Very handy. And then a piece of paper. So, and then you think about what are my strengths? And you might make a list of strengths. And if you're having a hard time coming up with them, you could ask somebody, your adult in your life, or a friend, or your teacher, or somebody else that is in your life. What do you see as my skills or my character assets, things that I exhibit, and they might, share that with you. Or you could put things down that you aspire to have. Like, I always aspire to be a little more organized, always across the board. It's a constant thing. And so I might put down, be more organized. So those are things I want to grow, want to look at. Is there anything that you want to grow, Megan? Or aspire to?
I guess just kind of letting things be, like not having control over like just certain little things, just some things that I think I can do maybe better than others, or the way that I like to do them. So that's always something I'm trying to be more patient with.
Oh, good. That's great. So you draw a tree. This is the end product, but I just drew a branch. Branch is a, what do you call it? Trunk. And then at the bottom, you write, I matter. And it's important because when we're writing these things, we're listening. Our brain is listening. Our heart is listening. And that's important to support yourself in that way. And so then I took the paper plate. I can't tip it too much, but I put some paint on there. Oh, it dried on there. There we go. All right, so I put some paint down, and then I just took the top of this and I put it down on there and, rubbed it around, and see I've got paint all over there. And then I just put it on the paper, and it makes like a little circle, which is a representation maybe of a leaf or something. And so I did all different sizes, you see that, and then I wrote in some things. Now you could write things first and then put circles around them. I'm going to tell you it's a little easier. I got paint everywhere. So anyway, so you might think about doing that, but either way, and I just wrote things. I am bright. I am healing. I am a good listener. I am strong. So I am brave. And then a couple things that I want to grow. I am curious. I'm always wanting to grow my curiosity. So then you can just have it there and look at it. It's a good thing to remind yourself, maybe on those days where you're feeling more low or feeling not as connected. You can bring this back out and look at it again, add something to it, maybe do other circles. I was thinking earlier, Megan, I don't know about you, but I was thinking you could do this and just make flowers, and then those could be the centers of the flowers, and then you could add to them, or there's lots of different things. I also,
or even like these messages in a mantra, even if it's not a craft or something, you can always proclaim that I am these great things, or I want to, I do some of those mantras or things like that.
Yeah, those are great. I am a big proponent for writing those on your mirror with washable. You have to have permission from your adult, but with washable. And on my mirror, I went even as far as ordering a sticker, and it says, hello, beautiful on my mirror. So every morning I get to greet myself that way. And that it's important to be able to say those things to yourself, for sure. And then maybe you could say one thing to one person, somebody else. You could say something that you see in that person, and maybe it would make their day. Maybe it would help them in their languishing. Like I'll say to Megan that she's very creative and she's so eager to do things here at Gilda's Club. It's so awesome. And so it really has been very, very wonderful to have that kind of energy here. So thank you for bringing it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you could help somebody else out by doing that too. So
And I would say that Melissa is just really fun. These kids groups or teens groups, if you're in those groups, she lets it be very fun and welcoming, and they always have good activities planned. Maybe I'm not as creative in that area as her, but
oh, there's just time. All you gotta do is put time in. You'll get there.
Yep.
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 Thank you. Appreciate that. So if you're feeling a little low, if you're feeling that languishing, know that you're not alone. Know that it is something that I think really everyone all over the world, honestly, is feeling that. We're all a little tired of COVID. We're all a little tired of all the extra and this adjustment. And know that we're doing this together, and that we can help each other by talking, by sharing, by doing art, by also helping ourselves take that slow lizard time. So yeah, thanks. So that ends the beginning of that. If there is something that you do to help yourself in languishing, please let us know. We'd love to hear about what you do. Or if you do this craft, post it for us. We'd love to hear that too, or see it. So, okay, we're going to move into our meet the staff segment. And that's why I didn't introduce Megan, because we decided to save it for the end here. And so I'm just going to read Megan's little bio here. Megan is a limited licensed social worker. And for those of you that don't know this, when you go to graduate school to get your MSW, that now I say now because 30 years ago they didn't do this, but now you have to get a certain number of hours after your graduate work underneath a licensed social worker, which I am, that then they sign off that you've done. How many hours is it, Megan?
It's 4,000.
Wow, that's a lot. So it takes about 3 years, right?
Yeah, minimum of 2. Yep.
Yeah. So then when they're done with that, then they're fully licensed. So when you come to see an MSW, they've been through a lot and a lot of training and a lot of hours to bring you stellar and high level services. So that's great. We're glad that you did that. You're working on that, right?
Yep. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, she graduated with her bachelor degree in psychology and a master's in social work. And you went to MSU, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, for both parts, yeah.
Okay, so
Graduated
go green.
in May of 21. Yeah, go white.
All right, okay. Literally was at a wedding this weekend where Sparty showed up. I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
At the reception.
That needs to happen at mine.
Yeah. So anyway, so she graduated in May of 2021. And her past opportunities in this field included interning at the Community Mental Health Center in Lansing and MSU Veterinarian Hospital, which is really cool, where she worked as an outpatient therapist. And so do you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself, Megan?
Yeah, so going along with my past experience at MSU as an intern, I did some pet loss support groups there, and obviously I have a connection to animals. I love my 3 dogs. They're like my ultimate coping mechanism and fun and excitement, and they live the best life ever. I think that if you were to believe in reincarnation, I think that maybe you'd want to be my dog. They have an awesome. We go to the beach, we go on van trips. I have 3 of them, Meadow, River, and Maple. So, and then, I just moved to Jenison. I'm working on getting established here, and I'm from the other side of the state in Bay City, Michigan. So, this is a new atmosphere and a different, I guess, vibe for me, but I love the west side of the state. I love to be by the water, so I wanted to get to that side. And I started at Gilda's in January, so more recently, and the only reason that I had heard about Gilda's is Melissa and I ended up talking in her garden outside of her house when I was on a walk with all these dogs. So
Yes.
we started talking and then ended up at Gilda's Club to help members with grief and cancer. And I have personal connections in both of those fields, and they're near and dear to my heart. And just think that I have a lot to give in these areas. So anything else you want anybody else
That's
to know?
great. I love it. No, that's
Yeah.
great. Yes. And her
Mhm.
dogs show up in meetings with us quite often, and they're all so cute. She has a dog that looks like a stuffed animal, and I am not kidding you. She does. And what's her
That's
name?
one of the better parts. That's one of the better parts of this languishing is we can operate in this virtual world sometimes, and our pets can be with us sometimes.
That's very
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Yeah. Very true. So very cool. And pets are a big deal. We in the teen tween group, we spend, at least 10 minutes or 5 minutes at a time talking about our pets, seeing how our pets are doing. Really important, especially nowadays, and can be really helpful when you're feeling maybe not yourself or in that place of languishing. So.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you on staff, Megan. I'm glad you're here with all your dogs. And yeah. So that's
Thanks.
all we have, I think, for today. I hope again you get outside. Couple other things we have is that we are running a full program here at Gilda's Club. We're welcoming new members still virtually and in person. And we're moving more and more back towards that in-person part. And so most of our groups are hybrid, which means that you can be in person and virtual at the same time. Well, you wouldn't want to be in person and virtual. I didn't say that correctly. You could either choose to come in person or choose to be virtual in the same group. And so that works out really well for really just about everybody. And then we have all of our programs in Lowell that are running every night now and Friday mornings. So if you're new to a grief or cancer journey and you'd like to get connected with us, again, please just give us a call, 453-8300, or look on our website, gildasclubgr.org. And if you are a member and you haven't, and you want to come back to group, you haven't reestablished yourself with us, just give us a call. We'll help you do that too. A couple of other notes is that we are looking forward this June 16th through the 19th, that we're going to be helping out at the LPGA again. We are looking for volunteers. So if you're interested in volunteering for us, that is one of our third-party fundraisers. We do get funds to support our program from doing that volunteer work. And so if you're willing and interested and like to work a shift or two there, please give Rob a call here at the clubhouse or send him an email. And we'd love to help you get connected with our volunteer program. And I think really that's everything. Any other questions? Look on our website, call us, come on, stop by, we're here. So hope you're all well and you're staying well, and good luck to all of those people. The end of the school year is happening, graduations, congratulations, all you people who are graduating, well done. It's not been easy and you've done it, and that's incredible. And we hope to see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for letting me be here.